Day, 7% of the U.S. population visits a McDonald's, and 20 to 25% eat fast food of some kind, says Stephen Gortmecker, professor of society, human development, and health at the Harvard School of Public Health. As for children, 30% between the ages of 4 and 19 eat fast food on any given day. So let me ask you, how many of you would say that you eat unhealthy? If so, do you think it's our fault or our government's fault? It's been made far too easy to eat unhealthy due to a busy lifestyle, and it's generally easier to eat something on the go rather than a healthier option. Many of us are exposed to foods like snacks and sodas that are very unhealthy on a daily basis, and not all of us are really sure what makes them so unhealthy. Now, this being said, I believe the government can and should take action and changes for all of us and for future generations. How, you might ask? By limiting processed foods. Some of the meals from the school and elsewhere don't even provide nutrition facts, which is another topic that the government should be responsible for, but we'll discuss that at another time. Health problems can also be prevented when the government decides to limit processed food. First, let's see what processed foods are made of. Well, ultra-processed food products are from processed substances extracted from whole foods, for example, like oils, hydrogenated oils, fats, flours, and starches, and variants of sugars with little or no whole foods, like burgers, frozen pizza, chicken nuggets, crackers, cookies, sugar drinks, and other various snacks that we all enjoy. Now, that being said, ultra-processed foods are typically energy dense. They have high glycemic load and low in dietary fiber, micronutrients, and are high in unhealthy types of dietary fat, sugars, and sodium. When consumed in small amounts and with other healthy sources of calories, ultra-processed products are harmless. However, intense deliciousness achieved by high fat content, sugar, salt, and other additives, omnipresence, and aggressive marketing strategies such as reduced price for super all make modest consumptions of ultra-processed products unlikely, and the displacement of fresh or minimally processed foods very likely. These factors also make ultra-high processed products promote overconsumption and thus obesity. That being said, the government has a need to remove processed foods because processed foods promote overconsumption, and they are implicated in a host of chronic diseases and health conditions that are currently plaguing our nation. What follows is just a taste of risk processed foods may present to your health. Diabetes, heart disease, cancer are just a few examples. For example, eating processed meats, one can increase the risk of coronary heart disease and diabetes. Researchers found out that processed meat intake was associated with a 42% higher risk of coronary heart disease and a 19% higher risk of diabetes. While we know that processed meats increase disease risk, the quantity consumed that would increase this risk is unknown. Some are made with excess sodium, which can increase blood pressure, and some contain nitrates that increase cancer risk. And because you never know exactly what ingredient processed meats contain, it's impossible to gauge what chemicals you're putting into your body and what harm they cause. Now, with all these potential health concerns, you may be wondering what the benefits are said to come from processed food. Well, food processing makes many foods available that we would otherwise not eat. Without food processing, we certainly wouldn't have the large variety of food products we see in the supermarket and store shelves. Food processing enables the year-round availability of foods that have limited growing seasons. Frozen and canned fruits, vegetables, and meat products are also another example of foods available. Processing extends the shelf life of foods. Tinned fish and milks are two examples of nutritious foods that are readily available as a result of processing food. Processes also improves food safety by a variety of methods. For example, heating to a sufficiently high temperature destroys harmful bacteria, and certain additives help prevent fats from going off and prevent food from going bad. While there are many benefits to processed food, that doesn't mean their drawbacks don't exist. One significant downside to food processing is additive of salt as a preservation process. Thus, people who eat a lot of processed food have much higher sodium levels. Elevated sodium levels can lead to significant health problems, including high blood pressure and high risk of stroke and other serious medical conditions. So how can the government and ourselves combat this issue? Well, first, all of us need to decide what foods we need to better change and eat in order to have a better impact on the environment and ourselves, and how we can contribute less directly to our life and impeding that. By gardening, we can learn to focus on foods, eat seasonally, cook at home, and avoid factory-based meat products and eat locally grown organic food. Researchers of a nonprofit physicians committee recently released 6 guidelines for cancer prevention. promoting a plant-based diet to provide an antioxidant boost and maintain a healthy weight. Here's what their study recommends, and there's just 3 examples that are most prudent. Limit red meat, skip the dairy aisle, and prioritize your produce. Why? This is all to reduce any risk of any type of cancer development. By eating leafy greens, avoiding sugaries, and drinking lots of water. By doing this, you can scale back how often you're eating processed foods and greatly increase how better to take care of yourself and how the government needs to impose these rules to better create this safe environment